Hope you all are doing well. Happy Tuesday. Rolling through the morning. Again, I give a couple minutes for people to pop in and get situated and stuff, and then we start diving in. I'm already seeing you bring in some of those hearts. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's try to tap that screen. Let's get the algorithm picking this up. It seems like things are getting back on track to where they were before things got switched over and whatnot last week. But yeah, we're still here. We're excited to be here, and we're gonna dive into to some good stuff. So get yourself situated. I always suggest that you have maybe a notepad and a pen. If anything I come up, you want to take some notes on and stuff like that. And then as always, all right. What are your goals? What are some of the things that you're working on? We'll be opening up for some Q&A and stuff like that. So, but yeah, the good stuff. The good stuff is like energy, is like mental clarity and focus, is like hydrated skin. That's all the good stuff. Your health, right? Because if you can have all the money in the world, all the gold and silver, you can have whatever you want, right? Material things. But if you don't have your health, none of that really matters, right? So, but yeah, we want to be able to, Yoshi, you're right. That is the biggest wealth that we can have. You're all good, Yoshi. I appreciate you tapping in the chat. I appreciate you being here. Betsy, good morning. Christina, good morning. I hope you all are having a wonderful start to your day. It's morning time where I'm at. So depending on where you all are at, it might be, getting into the afternoon and whatnot. But yeah, we're going to be talking about overall health here, mainly, all right, with the how to be able to bring more energy into the body, how to be able to make sure that your immune system is really good with this little this new thing that they got rolling around right now. There's a little bug rolling around, stomach bug rolling around. So how are you going to be able to make sure that you are healthy and your immune system is supported, so that you don't get taken out by any bugs or viruses or whatever may be floating around that they're saying or floating around, or that you might be seeing people, friends and family or whatnot might be dealing with. All right, so that's what we're going to be diving into. We typically start to dive into the thick of it right around 9:10. So if you guys have any questions, though, pop those into the chat. Anything pertaining to your health. What are your goals? Are you working on anything specific for 2025? Have you set any intentions on things that you want to work on? All of that kind of stuff. So I'll be answering questions if you guys have any questions. But again, we're going to be talking about, because health in general, all right, whether it's, you want more energy, whether it's you want, better skin, hair, nails, that whole deal, whether you want to be able to lose weight, whether you want to be able to put on more muscle, whether you want to start having a positive mindset. Maybe we're dealing with mental health issues and stuff like that. So, all of these different things can all be supported by the same things. And once we get these things, integrated into our lifestyle and they start to become habits, well, that's when we're going to be able to start really seeing our lives change on all of those different things. Hydrated skin, right? Better hair, more energy throughout the day, no crashes, better mental clarity and focus, and not as much, depression, anxiety, all of these different things. All right, and it's going to seem very easy, but again, implementing change is not always the easiest. And that's why it's important, to take it one step at a time as you're working through transformation. All right. Nothing happens overnight. It's very important. Again, if you're expecting things to change or happen overnight, we have to look at what have we been doing up to this point? What have you been eating? How have you been moving? All of these different things. And we have to work through all those years, all right, that maybe we haven't been doing the proper things to be able to really have the life and the health that we want, right? And the most important thing is that, like, when you're healthy, you're typically happy because you feel good, right? When you're healthy, you're going to have energy. when you're healthy, you're going to be more positive because, again, you have the energy to go support what it is you want to do. And we're in this state of vibration of appreciation, of gratitude, and being present and everything like that. So that's how, the mindset, as well as just with our overall makeup, all right, our body and everything like that, as well as the things that we want to be able to do with this body, they're all connected. They're all connected. And so that's what we're going to be diving into today. And again, appreciate y'all tapping that screen. I'm seeing those hearts coming through. Y'all are awesome. And again, that's how we're going to get this algorithm to pick it up, to be able to get this information out to more people. And if you've joined my lives before, my whole purpose and goal with what I do is just being able to try to help this world become a better place, a more positive place. And the more people that we're able to understand what health really means and how to be able to actually be healthy, what that looks like, then we're going to start being able to transform this world. The more people that are healthy, we're going to have more healthy people, happy people, positive people to be able to, create this positive, feel-good life that we truly want. So that's what we're going to be getting into. We got about 2 more minutes, and then we'll be starting to dive in. I'm going to grab some water. If y'all have not had any water and you possibly have a lemon you can squeeze in it, I'd encourage you. This is your reminder to stay hydrated, but give yourself the proper minerals and electrolytes to hydrate the body. That's why we want to put that lemon in there, because that's what's going to give us those ingredients. And we'll be really diving into that. So I'm going to grab my water, grab something, and we'll get going. Okie doke. So happy Tuesday, everyone. All right. Appreciate each and every one hanging out in here. Hope you all having a good morning. Jojo, what's up? Gerald, good morning. Paloma, good morning. Thank you guys for the gifter badges. I appreciate you all. And again, let's tap that screen. Let's try to get up to 1,000 likes. If we can do that in 30 minutes, that'd be awesome. Typically, we're on here, for an hour, 2 hours or so. So let's see what we can get those likes up to. But all right, we're gonna start diving in. I just posted up a little bit ago. All right, the basis of having more energy, more mental clarity, hydrated skin, nice healthy hair, as well as beginning to be able to get rid of any fats, stored fats that we may have that the body is holding onto. All right. Now, the most important thing, and I talked about this in my live coaching call, my group coaching call last night, is that what we put into our body is what we are created out of. Our body creates trillions of cells every single day. And this is how we get new skin, new hair, all these different things. Our body is continuously creating new cells, which keeps us alive. If our body was not creating new cells, then just like, something like this lemon, after I take this lemon off the tree, it's not getting any more nutrients. It's no longer outside getting the energy of the sun. So all right, this nutrients in here is going to be only good for so long because it's not attached to that tree, getting the nutrients to support it to continually grow. However, all right, we continuously put in nutrients to the body to continuously help us grow until, we die. All right, this thing's going to be good. All of the vitamins, all of the minerals, most importantly, the electrolytes in this lemon is going to be good until it starts to decompose. Okay, so there's a a shelf life per se if after me taking this off my tree and having it. Now, in order to be able to allow this lemon to grow, I've got to be able to support it with the proper ingredients that it needs in order to be able to grow. And I think most of us know what plants and stuff need to be able to grow. They need water, they need good soil, and they need sunlight. Our body is not much different. However, we don't need soil. I mean, we kind of do in a sense. All right. We don't need the actual dirt. We need what's in the dirt, which are the minerals as well as the electrolytes. And electrolytes are charged minerals. So we have just basic minerals that don't have a charge, which the charge is energy. All right. Anything, when we know something is charged up, we know that it has energy. Batteries charged up, they're ready to be able to give whatever electronic you want for energy. All right. So when we're focusing in on being able to get real energy, all right, not caffeine or anything like that, that's going to tax your adrenals and release cortisol and end up making you crash later on, all right, we can all tell that there was energy within this lemon in order for it to grow. Same thing, with these oranges, all right? There is energy in here that's giving it its color, that's allowing it to grow all the way from when it was just a flower into these fruits, all right? Now, this is the Earth's energy, all right? And same thing with these electrolytes. These minerals, these charged minerals, have a certain hertz or vibration or frequency, whatever you want to name it, call it, from the Earth, all right? And this is the important thing. If you're into electrical, I'm not like super into electrical, but I know the basics, all right? When you're trying to be able to set something up that's electric, you've got to be able to make sure that you're setting it up on the proper, frequencies. You got positive, negative, you got a ground, you got all these different things to conduct electricity, okay? Same thing with all these and how the earth works and how we work. We need the right energy, all right? Caffeine is not the right energy. I'm not saying that you can't have caffeine. There is a time and place for it, all right? I have caffeine every once in a while with my coffee, but most of society, especially in America, is addicted to caffeine because our entire circadian rhythm and everything that's going on with us is all out of whack, because this is how we were taught and how we were raised in order to be able to eat these foods. We were marketed the things that we're putting in our body that make us up. And most importantly, all right, thinking about the energy, all right, majority of people are struggling with the energy, all right? So when we look at these things, and when I work with my clients and look at the specific goals and things that they want to change in their life, typically it's energy, typically it's being able to lose some body fat, or it's just focusing in on the overall holistic view of their health, hydrated skin, all of that kind of stuff. Okay. But the number one thing that I end up finding is that when we go over what they're eating on an everyday basis, all right, most people are not having any lemons. Most people are not having much fruit at all, because they try to teach you that fruit is bad because it has sugar in it. And sugar is going to cause all these different problems. All right. However, earth sugar, glycogen, is completely different than processed sugar, synthetic sugar. Completely different. Just like regular table salt is completely different than the earth's salt. Okay, they tried to recreate these things in labs, and they are missing the frequency and the proper ingredients that the earth gives to these natural things to be able to fuel us earth beings. Okay, so, all right, this is the biggest thing that we need to be able to get and understand. Just like I said in the beginning, our body is created of trillions of cells, and those cells are regenerated and recreated every single day to be able to help us continue to grow and work through this life. But if we are putting in dead stuff, fake stuff, things that never had energy or were never, are not alive or anything like that, then how are we expecting to get actual energy? How are we expecting to be able to supply our cells with the hydration that they need to be able to create good, healthy skin, hair, and all this kind of stuff? And how are we being able, with the fuel that we're putting in, how is the body able to process that fuel to actually have it be readily available energy for you to be able to burn, support your nervous system, your cardiovascular system, your lymphatic system, your digestive system, all right? This is a vessel, very much like a computer or a car. Both things have multiple systems within them. Same thing as us, all right? And, we never have to think about these operating systems within us until we get sick, or until we have no energy, or until we're overweight and all of these different things. And they're like, oh no, I need to change this. All right? But they don't teach us how to change these things or what your body actually truly needs in order to be healthy and be happy and all of these different things. So, Ron, next question. So, all right, by being able to have alive, vibrant food, all right, look at the color, vibrant. Same thing with the lemon. It's vibrant, right? It doesn't look like we had some pasta last night. It doesn't look like this. This doesn't look pretty. This is a dried out noodle, right? Like this does not look pretty. Does this look hydrated? Does this look like it has energy? Does this look like it has anything? And I can do that with any processed thing, a bag of chips. Does it look hydrated? Does it look like it has energy? Does it look anything like what we can see with this? No, it does not. All right. And now it's not to say that you can't. I mean, I had pasta last night. I made pasta, but it's the amount in which you're having throughout the day. I love pasta too, Sarah. I had pasta last night. There's a time and place for pasta or rice or more of the complex carbs, but it's understanding how they serve the body and what you're going to use them for. No, we're not having. I got apples and oranges right here. All right, and parents is even harder. He heard me say chips and he's like, "What? I want chips." I want chips now. Excuse me? No, that is not how we talk. Did you eat your strawberries and your oranges? You got another half an orange. You're not having any of that until after 10 o'clock. Sorry, bud. And that's our rules, all right? Typically after 10 o'clock is when we start to have some other, processed foods or anything pretty much other than fruits, all right? Because again, this is the energy that we all truly are after is in here. Not only that, okay, here's the thing. Talked about the cells. Our body creates trillions of cells every single day. Trillions. It's what makes us up and keeps us, growing and moving and being a human being. What your cells need is water. It needs electrolytes, which are the charged minerals to be able to bring energy to the body, as well as regular minerals, uncharged minerals, as well as amino acids. Those are the things that your cells need. And oftentimes, we spoke about this in the coaching call last night as well, is that most people don't even understand what hydration is. Most people just think that they need to be able to drink lots of water in order to be able to stay hydrated. However, we are made up of 60% water, and our body maintains that water. All of our water, 2/3 of all of the water within our body is all in our cells. That's what we're trying to hydrate. 1/3 of it is in our blood, is in our lymphatic system, our plasma, and all of that. So we know 2/3 of all of the water is creating new cells. But see, in order to be able to create those new cells, it needs to have the proper minerals, electrolytes, and amino acids. So if we are not giving the body that proper spectrum of those ingredients, then yeah, we're not going to have good skin. We're not going to have good hair. You are not going to have any energy. And you're most likely going to start to gain more stored body fat within the body because the body doesn't know what to do with these processed and these synthetic foods. First off, there's no true real energy with them. There's no vibration from the earth, so that's not going to be able to be used by our body. Not only that, all right, it doesn't have, all of the other ingredients. And, okay, everything is coded. Like I talked about these systems, we don't think about your nervous system. We don't think about our cardiovascular system and our blood system and our lymphatic system and our digestive system. These things just work automatically for us, right? However, though, what is actually going on there? Have you ever gotten curious? I mean, like, how is our body just automatically doing all of this stuff? And what is it doing? And how does it know where to put this and how to use this and all of this? It's quite amazing. However, though, when we start to run into issues, those issues, all right, are the signals from your body trying to tell you, hey, we don't understand these codes that you're putting into your body. All right, just like software on a computer or software in our cars now, all of it, all right, has codes to be able to know what to do with. And that's how our body does what it does. All right, everything has a code. This universe is all created off of codes. All right, I know it's kind of out there, but yeah, this is the Matrix and it is real. These are the proper codes that we want to be able to give our body because it knows what to do with it. Our body does not necessarily know what to do with a bag of chips or candy bars or candy or, any of these fake synthetic things. And if we are struggling with energy, if we are struggling with, skin, hair, hydration in general, if we are, struggling with, too much stored fats and all of these different things, It's all down to your food. Because I guarantee you, if someone is eating, close to maybe 40 to 50% fruit throughout the day, and then everything else being whole, organic, good, nutritious foods, then you're not going to have any of those problems. All right. I've worked with a couple clients that had those, but we were working more so on mental, mindset stuff and everything like that. But for the most part, I've never worked with someone that needed to be able to lose weight or focusing in on hydration that already was maintaining that kind of consumption, eating those types of foods. So the biggest thing is I ask everyone, how much fruit are you eating, right? How much fruit are you eating? And here's the other thing. When you wake up, your body's already like, we need the energy right away. So it's important to start eating fruit to start your day, right? Laying down the foundation of what it is you got going on during the day. All right. If you want energy for your day, if you're going to be going out in the sun, if you're going to be outside, right? We want hydrated skin so you don't get sunburned. All right. So we should not be getting sunburned. Do the plants outside get sunburnt? Do the animals outside get sunburnt? Why are we the only things on this earth, the only earth created beings on this earth that supposedly get sunburnt? We're the only ones. All right. You can tell when a plant outside gets sunburned. Okay, they can get sunburned, but why do they get sunburned? Because they're not hydrated. All right, and you can drink all the water that you want, but again, it's not going to properly hydrate your cells, which therefore your cells are now regenerating dehydrated with zero electricity and zero minerals to support the strength of melatonin and everything that our body needs in order to absorb the actual energy from the sun. See, when we're not inputting the proper ingredients, then yes, the sun does affect you, and the sun is going to burn you and it's going to harm you because we don't have the proper energy balance to be able to gain the energy from the sun. We have our own photosynthesis that happens with us. All right. Just like the plants and just like every other thing that is made up of this earth, that is natural of this earth and that was not created in a lab. All right. Other thing is sunglasses. Get rid of your sunglasses. All right. Because in order to be able to have that energy, it needs to get through the retina of your eye. That's the whole point. That's why our eyes are so special. But when we're putting sunglasses on, or we're having just regular glasses or even contacts, all right, there is something over it that is going to degrade the energy of that sun that's going to get into your eye and that's going to produce what we call D hormone. It's not a vitamin, all right? It's not a vitamin. It is a hormone, that chemical reaction from, all right, the rays of the sun, the energy of the sun interacting with the retina of your eye. It creates this D hormone that's going to support your body, help everything stay regulated within your body, as well as be able to protect your energy so it's not being drawn out of us. All right. But if we're wearing sunglasses, yeah, you're going to get sunburned because now your body believes that you are not in the sun. It believes that you are in a room, a dark room. So therefore, all of the sensory areas of the skin and everything are going to go down. It's not going to be ready to absorb energy. And so you're going to get sunburned. Then you slather on all these chemicals and everything. All right. You know that your skin is the biggest organ of your body and it absorbs, just like I said, it absorbs sun energy. It is absorbing everything that you put on your skin. And most of all that is over-toxifying your body. And we're now putting stuff in that's going to be absorbed by your lymphatic system. And then it's going to start coming out through your skin. We put it on the skin. Well, the skin's going to start pushing it back out. And that's why we deal with acne, we deal with psoriasis, we deal with candida. Most of these things are all from either what you're putting on your skin or you're putting in your body. You shouldn't have any skin problems at all. You really shouldn't have any sorts of acne or anything like that. The only time that I ever have any blemishes or anything come up is from stress. And I know exactly when it is. I know, okay, I had a really stressful day yesterday. I could understand where my energy was. Yeah, I can tell that my body's going to extract, all right, push out that negative energy, that stress through something like that. And we get rid of it and it's gone. And then I don't have another one until I have another crazy, more challenging day for myself. And if I'm not focusing in on being able to rebalance based off of whatever experiences I have in my day, then yeah, that's typically what I'm going to get. But I know all of these things because that's my whole point and that's what I help people do. All right. As the intuitive health coach, we're tuning back into what our bodies truly need and listening to the signs and signals it gives us to be able to heal and change and be able to obtain the health and the lifestyle and the happiness that you truly want. Because our body will tell you everything. But oftentimes, We don't want to reconnect with our body. We don't want to learn about our body because it's either embarrassing or we don't have time to deal with it. So we want to go to what we've been told are doctors that are going to help you. And really, all they're going to do is give you a band aid, take your money, get you hooked on a new product that you believe is going to help fix it. But in a sense, it's actually making it much worse. See, they can't make money off my lemons. They can't make money off my oranges. My farmer, I get my strawberries from a local farmer here in San Diego where I live. I've been to their farm multiple times. I see everything that they do there and how they cultivate all of their fruits and vegetables. And by how I see they run their operation, I'm like, okay, everything checks out on how I want my food to be grown and taken care of. So here, take my money. I appreciate you. Please don't stop. Right? So that's what we want to focus in on, the intent. And then we're giving back and we're helping our community. And again, we're helping our world become a better place by really focusing in on our intentions, what we truly want, and how we're actually going to help the world do what we want it to be able to do, right? So that's the basis of it. I've seen you guys been in the chat. I appreciate you. Tap that screen if you're finding some value, if you resonate with what I'm talking about. We're almost up at 500. Goal is trying to get to 1,000 within this hour. Let's see what we can get. Thanks. I see those hearts coming through. Tap that screen. Let's get up to 1,000. And boom, 500 is coming through. Oh, I appreciate you. Awesome. You guys are amazing. So, all right, let's dive into some of these questions here, some of the things you've been talking about, because I know for some of the things that I talk about sometime are, can be hard to be able to keep the mind open to, because we've got to understand, all right, they've been brainwashing this world, especially in America. They've been brainwashing us for decades. All right. As someone that grew up with a very healthy mother in the 90s and stuff, she was ridiculed and people made fun of her and my whole family because we were, healthy and stuff like that. She wanted to be able to have good food from the farmer's market for her children. And she was skeptical on, the things that they were putting in children and why they wanted to have this giant list and put it all in there right away. And so she started to do a lot of research, and back then it was not accepted. She was crazy, and people made fun of her and my family for it. And now shit is popping out, right? We're seeing all the stuff that happened with the pandemic, and we saw that that one doctor that was over there, he got pardoned. Why do you think he got pardoned? Oh, and then possibly some other countries trying to be able to get him because he fucked up the world for about a good couple of years. All right. Like, the information is finally coming out. So I'm just glad that I'm not, the crazy person anymore. And people are actually starting to wake up and realize that, things can be a lot simpler. However, it's hard to change beliefs. That the belief is the hardest thing to change in a human being, the belief. And if you can change someone's belief, you have the control. And what do you think? You know what government means? It means mind control. If you look up French, gouvernemente, all right, govern means the masses, and or means control over the masses, and mente means mind. All right, it's mind control. All of our American English and everything is all subjected to, all right, prior languages, and has a much deeper meaning than most of us understand. It's something that I have been really trying to understand, especially with laws and everything like that, our birth certificates, our social security cards, all of these different things, right? We've been scammed our entire lives. And so now my goal is to, now that I understand everything about the health and everything, is to go deeper into, setting up financially and property wise and everything like that, setting up being sovereign and all that good stuff. So, Sarah, I need help with my sweet tooth. Eat more fruit. Eat more fruit when you're craving something. As someone, I love baked goods. I love pies. I love muffins. I love cookies. I love all of that. Okay. But first off, typically, if I'm going to have any type of baked good or any sweet thing like that, it's made at home. So I am in control of the ingredients of it, or my wife is in control of the ingredients of it, and we make sure that it's the best ingredients that we can. Organic flour, organic, sugar, or anything like that. There's no seed oils. There's no high fructose corn syrups. There's none of the bad stuff. It's all just the highest quality stuff that we can get. And it tastes so much better. It's amazing. But we only have that maybe like once a week if we're going to bake something or have some type of treats in the house. Otherwise, all right, I've dealt with this. I think everyone to some point has dealt with a sweet tooth. So, all right, my suggestions is if you ever had dates, dates are a great way to be able to kind of ease that craving of that sweet tooth. I enjoy the consistency and the taste of it. You can mix dates with like some walnuts or some Brazil nuts to give it some more crunch and different things like that. Another one that I love is something like Brazil nuts or walnuts or something like that with some fresh, unprocessed honey. You just drizzle some honey on that. Or you can just, have a teaspoon of honey. Have a teaspoon of honey. And oftentimes that's going to satisfy the craving. But usually, all right, we're craving sweets or salty stuff because we're dehydrated. We don't have the proper minerals and electrolytes and amino acids in the body to be able to create these new cells. So our body is sending these other triggers that we've created over time to want to go to these things because it thinks, the body is now thinking, because it's kind of out of whack, that these things are going to be able to help it or at least satisfy some of the stress that our body is dealing with. All right. And typically when we have these cravings, it's because our body is under a state of stress because it does not have the proper ingredients or the proper stuff, to be able to do what it needs to do. This is also going to severely mess up your hormones. All right. So if anyone's dealing with hormone imbalances, it is about 95% due to dehydration. Because when we're dehydrated, the body is now in a state of stress. And whenever we're in a state of stress, the body is going to start releasing cortisol and not releasing the proper amounts of serotonin and all of these different things, ADH, all that kind of stuff. What's up? I want to be that guy. Okay. So that's why, when I was saying is that it's all really connected as far as proper hydration. But again, the people that control the media and the marketing and everything where we feel like we're getting good information from, they say, oh, drink a gallon of water, drink all this water, but your water has nothing in it that is going to serve you because it's all been extracted out. And in fact, majority of the water is actually going to do more harm than it is going to be doing good. All right. I drink maybe about 2 of these a day. I'm almost done with my second one. All right. But I've been up since 3:30 this morning. And it's about 9:30. All right. So I've had some time to be able to drink my lemon water. I've had almost 2 of these. It's about half full, my second one. After that, I really don't drink much water at all. I drink these. I eat fruits. All right. Because the fruit, all right, this juice that's in here, yeah, that's your water that you need because every single drop has the proper minerals and electrolytes as well as some amino acids in there that are going to support the cells that our body truly wants to be able to recreate, to give you the energy, the hydration, and all of the good stuff that we want. So, all right, is what we talked about in my group coaching call last night, is that focus in on setting a day to go to the grocery store, set a day to go to the farmer's market, whatever it is you do. Make food one of the most important things in your weekly routine. Prioritize a day to go to the grocery store. And if you can try to be able to keep it consistent, even better, because now we're creating a habit. Now we are intentionally prioritizing supporting our body through our food. And make sure that you're getting enough to last you about a week. This takes some time. It takes some trial and error, right? And especially if you have a family and you're buying food for others as well. Like I've got 2 boys and my wife, and so I have to buy a lot of fruit, all right? I usually buy like 20 apples every Sunday, 10 to 20 plums and oranges. Luckily, I have my own lemon tree, so I have these. As you can see, I buy a 3-pack of strawberries, and those only last a couple days. I get 2 giant bags of grapes. The majority of the stuff in my house is fruit. However, though, when I'm at the farmer's market or I go to the store, I usually only see people grabbing like 1 or 2 apples, maybe 1 little thing of berries. And I get it. If you're just buying for yourself, then you're lucky because you're not spending as much money on it as me. All right. But I don't eat out that much. So even though, yes, it seems like, spending $50 on apples and plums, just those 2 things seems like a lot of money to most. But you go out to eat, you're spending an easy $50 no matter what, especially if there's 2 people there. So, and that's just one night. I'm spending $50 on apples and plums to be able to provide my for 7 days and to give me the energy that I want and to feel good. So, for me, I'll spend $100 on it if this is what it's going to do for me. Because at the end of the day, if I don't have the energy, if I don't have the health, and I don't feel the way that I want to feel, then what is eating out, or what does any of these other what does money even mean? It's not. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything, right? Because money is not going to make you happy. Your health, your energy to be able to go out, do stuff, experience, have fun is what's going to make you happy. You don't need money to have fun. You can go have fun in nature, right? So, I know that money does help as far as, having financial freedoms to be able to do what you want to do and all these different things. But most of us, we look at money to be able to have materialistic things, not to actually support our life, to be able to do the things that we want to truly do. So, just a little food for thought with that. So, all right, back to Sarah Rose and helping with your sweet tooth. Make sure you're having some fruit, dates, honey, some nuts. Walnuts, Brazil nuts are really good. You can do pistachios too. The world has kind of fucked almonds up, so I don't really suggest almonds anymore, unfortunately. Peanuts are a fungus, so not everyone is going to vibe right or work correctly with peanuts. So it's not something that I eat peanuts. I like peanut butter and stuff like that, but it's just not something that I suggest to everyone. Walnuts, for the most part, are typically good, and they are processed the best. When they take them off the tree, out of the shell, and they do their thing with processing them, they are processed the best. And they're going to have the highest amount of nutrients, as well as Brazil nuts too. And I like to just drizzle a little bit of honey on there. Good to go. Another thing too, if you like acai, you can make an acai bowl. You can get some acai. They even make it in the one that they make as a sorbet. It has added sugar. So I suggest trying not to get the sorbet one, because I think it's like 28 grams or more of sugar that they add into it. We don't want that sugar. All right. We don't want that sugar. But you can get these smoothie packs of acai, and you can, defrost them, open up the packs, put it into a bowl, get some banana or some coconut shavings or strawberries or mangoes or whatever fruit you want. Put it in there, drizzle some honey over it, and boom. All right, you're going to have that sweet tooth craving diminished. And not only that, you just supported your body with hydration. Instead of having candy or baked goods like I talked about earlier, even though I love them too, all right, now with something like an acai bowl or something like that, you are now supporting your body with hydration. Now you're not going to be having the cravings anymore, and you're going to have good energy. You're going to feel content. You're going to feel happy. Right? You're going to be able to be present because we're not worried about these other things within the mind. Now, whatever you're selling, yes. Hey, if you need coaching, I just posted up too. Starting February, I'm opening up 5 spots for my one-on-one coaching. So, like I said, I did a group coaching call last night. I do group coaching as well as one-on-one stuff. So it really just depends, where you're at and what you're trying to work on and how serious you are about, making the changes in your life, but also allowing them to stick. New habits for a new lifestyle. Yes, Garad, hydrate our cells so they can do best what they are supposed to do. Mitochondria, you know what's up. Oh, Katie, I appreciate you so much. She said, I want to tell you, thank you so much. You changed my mindset and my life. Well, I appreciate you so much, and that means a lot to me because, again, at the end of the day, like that's my life mission, is just to help people. Because, again, all right, I got kids. I want this world to be a good place for them. And so I try to be able to be logical with what I can do. There's a lot that I want to go do. I want to save lots of people all over the world that are dealing with some fucked up shit. Bombs going off, people killing them, child trafficking. Like I want to go and I want to take care of all of that. But realistically, I can't. I'm limited to what I can do in my present, place where I'm at and with the, available finances that I do have. So what can I do? So I can come on here and talk and share my truth and be a light and a support for everyone else that the universe brings here. So I appreciate you, Katie, because again, that's why I do this. That's what it's all about. So I'm happy and glad to hear that. Yeah, rolling through. Summer, my live streams, I am thinking about I'm going to be looking at uploading them on YouTube. I started doing some YouTube videos because obviously I like to talk a lot and I could talk for a long time. And I know that that's YouTube is a better platform for these longer recorded discussions. So I'm thinking about posting them out there. We'll see how they do because a lot of people have wanted to be able to watch back on these videos. And honestly, it's kind of it's very tedious to go back into an hour, 2 hour live stream and just cut out snippets and whatnot. Because usually when I'm off this, we usually end up I take my little one to the park, and I got a full rest of the day. I got client calls, I've got music stuff to work on, I got and then whatever chores my wife wants me to do. My house is a mess right now. Dishes need to be done. Living room needs to be clean. Laundry needs to be done. So it's like, it's hard to go through and cut those up. So I download them and I'm thinking about uploading them to YouTube and doing that there. Like I said, I just started recording some YouTube videos. I haven't made them accessible to the public yet, but you just follow my same little handle here, and you can find me on YouTube, as well as if you're on Instagram. Instagram is a little bit different from what I post. I post a lot more stories about what I'm doing throughout the day and stuff. So if you kind of want to get involved with the day-to-day of what I do, Instagram stories and typically is where you're gonna find all of the different stuff, from my workouts to my I coach at Orange Theory Fitness. I'm not sure if you could read that. I've been coaching there for over 10 years, and I do personal training with my clients at a place called The Gym. And then obviously whatever I do with my kids and music stuff, all of the, behind the scenes stuff is all on Instagram in the stories. But live streams, I am looking at being able to get those over to YouTube and whatnot. So I hope that answers your question, Summer, and I appreciate you. I'm glad that you enjoy these lives that I do. I appreciate you so much. Let's see here. Rolling through your questions and your comments. Alan Wolf, all right. Spring water direct from the earth is yeah, it is. Because, all right, here's the thing is that there's energy in that spring water directly from the earth, especially if you're able to get it from, as long as the hard thing is that I feel like they've scared so many people to talk about bacteria and different things that's in rivers and flowing bodies of water. However, though, my thought is like, are they? I mean, I get it. I've heard many stories about people getting sick from drinking water from a stream and different things like that. However, though, yes, all right, that water is charged because it is moving. It is charged. Not only that, it has the best minerals and electrolytes because it's directly absorbing them from all of the rocks and minerals around it, and from the dirt underneath the riverbed or coming out of the spring or whatever it may be. So if you're able, there's a lot of properties that have like wells or have aquifers on them. If you're able to come up on a property that has a well or an aquifer or anything like that, then you're set. You've got good water. It tastes a lot different too. Like, it actually tastes good. If you've ever had water from a well or anything like that, that's like straight from the source, not in a bottle. All right. Because again, unless you go to that plant, the processing plant, and you see the whole process and what they do, like with your own eyes, like for real, you don't know. And again, they've lied to us about every fucking thing that you can think about. So at this point, I don't trust shit unless I literally see it with my eyes and I'm able to experience it in present reality. It's all a scam to me. So, I mean, but that's just me. You can, you're your own person. You're able to believe or trust or do whatever it is you want to do. But I do feel that a lot more people are waking up and kind of like, some of this shit just don't make sense, right? When we start to get the information and the knowledge and the education about how to actually take care of ourselves and how this vessel works with all the systems that I mentioned, your central nervous system, your cardiovascular system, your blood and heart system, all right, your lymphatic system, your digestive system, all of these systems. How do we take care of them? They don't teach you shit about them, really. So, that's the thing. Okay, Summer, awesome. Thank you for letting me know that. Okay, because you brought that up, I will start to do that. And I appreciate you because I have been wanting to do I have been wanting to do, oh no, I have been wanting to do more. I didn't mean to get rid of that thing back there. I have been wanting to do more on YouTube and get more of this longer form content out. So thank you for encouraging me to do that. So I will do that. Yes, golden kiwis. They're in season right now. All right, kiwis are actually a winter seasonal fruit, and they are amazing. And yes, they do. There's something that can help with the sweet tooth. Like I said, everyone's gonna have a different sense of type of food and stuff that they like, or fruits that they like. So you do you, boo. All right, figure out what it is you like, and do that. As long as it's good, it's all natural, and it's from our earth, then you're all good. You're all good. All right. Danielle, I hope I pronounced you right. I apologize if I mispronounced it. What do you look for in a man? Me, well, I'm married to my wife. However, though, when I'm looking for friends or things like that, I look for someone that's honest. At the end of the day, that's all that really matters. As long as someone is honest with me, then that sets the stage for any expectation that I may have on them, right? We'll kind of, I'll get into this a little bit. All right, relationships. See, typically we only get hurt from a relationship when we have our own expectations of someone else or of a certain outcome. If we have an expectation that someone should be this type of character, like my partner or this man should be doing these things, my mom or dad should be doing these things or should have done these things for me or treated me a certain way. We have these expectations. Where did those expectations come from? Who told you that that's how that person should be or that's how life should be in general? Where did that programming come from? And it's not like to put anything down. Like it's just this is what I ask myself. This is the thought process that I go through if I'm dealing with a situation that I'm not, I possibly want to change or that I may be struggling with. Where did I come to these conclusions? Where did I come with these intentions or these expectations of something with a relationship? And now we have to be mindful, all right? There's 3 types of relationships. There's relationships with people, there's relationships with places, and there's relationships with things, right? My expectation out of my phone is to work and to get me onto TikTok and to be able to do this. Well, if my phone dies, then I'm going to be kind of frustrated because I'm not able to do what I want to do, right? If we have a relationship with a person and we're not feeling the love that we expect we should feel, or we're not feeling the support that we expect we should be feeling from this person, you're going to be lost for a very long time, all right? Because we cannot put any expectations on anyone. The only person or thing that we can put any expectation on is ourselves. So that's the thing that we've got to be honest with ourselves about. And then when we are looking to have a relationship with someone else or a certain place, maybe your work or your home or a thing like this TikTok, right? I'm kind of upset. I got lied to. They said that they were taking this thing away. And I think we all know what happened. Why don't you just fucking tell us? Why don't you just tell us you're going to do what you did instead of lie? Like, what? Like, you think that's going to make your status with us people any better by fucking lying to us and lying to the whole world again? Like, how much are you going to fucking continue to lie to us about? All right. And I think we're all waking up, and, they're going to continue to push that envelope and push the lies until we're done taking it. And I think that that's going to be coming up pretty soon, right? Because we just, Chinese New Year is tomorrow. And if you've been on some of my lives where I've gotten into some astrology and everything, I'm not a professional in astrology. I'm very basic or a novice, with that. But, I've done some research on specific things due to astrology. And I'll just tell you this. You start going back in history and looking up what happens in the world in the year of the snake, you're going to start to get some ideas of what's going to be coming our way throughout this year, and especially in the next year of the year of the horse. All right. And again, look at it on a world level. What happened in the world? Go on Wikipedia and look up all the years, especially I'm pretty sure we're in the wooden snake. So start looking up. All right. What years were the wooden snake around? What happened in those years? You're gonna find out, especially with America, a lot. And we're going back all the way to the 1800s, even before then. All right, how far back you want to go look? All right, but as far as like the life of America, you can go for the life of America and look at the year of the snake, and then into the year of the horse, and like what kind of happened. So, important stuff. But yeah, honesty is everything. Honesty is everything. And especially right now with this day and age, as we moved out of the Piscean age into this Aquarian age, honesty is what is going to keep you surviving with what we're about to go into with AI and all this. Don't you realize that all these scams, like everything for the most part is a lie, and AI is going to make these lies even easier. So if you want to be able to counteract, all right, this matrix, your honesty and your integrity is going to be everything, or else you are not going to make it. All right, you're going to have a very hard time being able to make it through this life in the way that you want to, feeling good, being healthy, and having the loved ones and the people that you truly want around you and you care about and you enjoy, living this experience with. So be honest. All right. If anything, that's the most important thing that you should be doing. And it's going to help your stress, right? It's going to help your body be able to self-regulate itself. And we're not going to have a lot of the mental issues that come when you're fucking lying. I try to teach my kids this. It's like, you start telling one lie and you have to remember that lie. And then you have to tell more lies to be able to back up that lie. And before you know it, all right, you're riddled with anxiety. You're riddled with paranoia. And the stress is fucking you up, dude. This is no good. And at the end of the day, what did that really do? What, you didn't want to get yelled at? You didn't want your Xbox taken away? You didn't want to have to not be able to play with your friends? 9 times out of 10, I don't even get mad when they do something wrong. We sit down and we talk about it. But you fucking lie to me, yeah, you're done. You're done. So, all right, I encourage you, spend some time really thinking about your honesty as well as your expectations of others and your boundaries. All right. I shouldn't say expectate. I should say your boundaries of others, right? Because we need to be mindful of what we want, what kind of energy we want in our life. And when we set up boundaries, this is going to help protect us and allow us to be able to see the red flags of someone that's possibly going to lie to us or disrespect us or these different things. Now, not everyone is having these conversations. Most people are, this is not even coming across their thought process because they are so ingrained into the programming that it is just what it is. And so, I encourage you, depending on the situation or how much someone or a place or a thing means to you, have some patience, have some grace, talk to them, allow them to know, like, hey, you lied to me, and I do not appreciate, nor do I tolerate that, right? I'm trying to be able to show up for you in the best and positive and most supporting way. And now you are breaking my trust and you are disrespecting me from what you just did. And I don't accept that in my life. I really think that you truly are a great person, and I really enjoy the time that we spent together or this place or this thing. However, though, if we want to continue, this cannot happen anymore. And I like I said, like, I'm willing to talk to you if there's something that you're worried about, if there's something that I've been doing to bother you, or maybe you want to move on or you have other thoughts or something like that. Talk to me. All right, it's okay. Like, sure, my feelings might be hurt a little bit, but here's the thing. We need to be allowing within our relationships, and we cannot focus in on the controlling or ownership of any person, place, or thing. The only person that we can own is ourselves, and most of us aren't even owning up to our own selves, right? Love is allowing, which means you don't own any person, place, or thing, right? When we get upset with someone because they did something that we didn't necessarily want them to do, especially like in relationships and stuff like that. Or if someone wants to go do something else or someone likes something else and it doesn't quite vibe with us, we need to be able to let them go. Because if we truly love someone, then we want them to be happy, right? And if, you're dealing with a breakup or something like that, or someone wants to move, if there's any change that doesn't quite vibe with you or makes you sad or depressed, but yet is that's what that person wants to do, we need to be allowing. All right. We don't own or control anyone. You get into that point, you're done. Like you've lost it. You're going to be struggling with all of the negative thoughts and everything, and not being able to trust, and you're going to struggle with all that for the entire amount of the relationship. But when you can get to the point, and especially like if you're in a deeper relationship with someone, hopefully you went through all of these different check boxes to make sure that you guys are compatible, or at least that they're honest with you and that this relationship is going to work, whether it be an intimate relationship or a friendship relationship or a family relationship. They're all the same. All right. The most important thing is that you've established, all right, the foundation of your relationship based on honesty and integrity, right? But again, if someone ends up wanting to do something else, we need to allow it, even though if it's going to break your heart, right? Like let's say, someone gets a great job opportunity and they got to move halfway across the country and they don't necessarily know if they're going to be in a relationship anymore. As much as something like that would hurt, all right? We have to know, okay, if I truly love this person, what do I want for them? You want them to be happy, right? And you want them to be happy even if that doesn't mean that you are going to be with them. We've got to be able to be allowing with that, because that is what true love truly is. So, all right, I know I went a little bit deeper with that, but honesty, the biggest thing. Team, we are almost up to that 1,000 likes. Let's get that 1,000 likes. We're just a couple hundred away. We are just finishing up an hour here. So tap that screen if you're able to. If you got a working thumb, tap that screen. Thank you so much. And we'll keep diving in. I appreciate each and every one of you here. I am diving through these questions. So put in your questions, and we're continuing to talk and dive into all this awesome stuff. Yes, 2025 is the year of the snake, and then 2026 is the year of the horse. All right. Yes, Earth Angel, the truth will set you free. Earth Sky, I appreciate you sending the gifts. Thank you so much. Summer, yeah, I guess it basically is kind of like a podcast, and I've been told that too. So, look at that, fam. We got over that. We got 1.5. I was just like 2 minutes ago, and we got it before the 10 o'clock marker. Let's go. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you. All right, so yes, Summer, you have come on here and you have encouraged me. We're going to start diving into the YouTube, the longer form content. We'll be sharing these. I'm going to take some time today. We'll be downloading all my lives. It's going to take some time and then trying to upload them up to YouTube. But we're going to do it because, again, if this information, is helping you all out and you're getting some value here, then that's what it's all about. But yeah. Jeremiah, which tattoo? I've got a lot of tattoos. I've got one on my finger there. I've got my hands tattooed. I got my neck. I've got my whole stomach and everything like that. I got my arms. I got my legs. Which tattoo are you talking about? But I appreciate you. Jeremiah. Let's see. Rixley, I am in Southern California, in San Diego. I'd love to know where y'all are tuning in from. Where are you all tuning in from?
I'm in a top secret where people are.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I don't like that, dude. Where are you guys from? I'm in San Diego. All right, finally, all these fires from last week have subsided.
I did Minecraft.
God, no, I live in Santee. Are you in San Diego? Do you live in La Mesa, Grande?
Minecraft guy.
Okay, hey, buddy, you're yelling really loud.
Is he a Minecraft guy?
Yes.
And this too?
Yeah, do you want that guy?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, here you go. There you go. Ooh, you have to buy him. Sorry. Okay, here. Take it. Okay. No, I'm in Santee, so I'm out east. But I grew up roaming around the streets of PB, Mission Beach, La Jolla, and Claremont and stuff like that. But yeah, all right, so man, I will start with this live, and I'll even put you in for the inspiration of getting it over there. Um, but yeah, crypto knowledge, what's up? I appreciate you. Um, will live to be a health coach. Can I join your team? Yeah, send me a message. I'm not 100% sure what you mean about that, but send me a message. I'd love to talk. You know what I mean? And if you just send me a direct message, we can chat and everything like that. Ooh, Earth Angel, thank you so much. I will check out Mel Robin and the Let Them Theory. Always down for that. Yeah, I listen to lots of podcasts and stuff like that. And typically, like, I'm a musician, so I create music. I've been playing professionally for over 20 years. However, though, since I've spent so much time in creating music, like I don't really listen to too much music anymore. I really only listen to the things that I'm creating. So like when I'm driving or when I am listening to anything, it's typically always podcasts, and I'm just trying to be able to fill my mind with information, different opinions. A lot of times I'll listen to the complete opposite opinions of what I talk about. Like I'll go into like the deep medical stuff and the pharmaceutical stuff because like I gotta know what I'm up against. I gotta know how they're theorizing everything and how they're trying to program everything. So, I encourage you all too. I encourage you all too, especially like, I've talked to a lot of people about, the politics and stuff, and I'm not political in any sense. I don't give my energy to that game. But if you do, it's totally fine. It's everyone else. It's your own personal business. However, though, I've always suggested people as far as a little bit of a mindset work and strengthening the mind is go listen to the opposing side. See if you can spend 30 to 60 minutes listening to everything that goes against your own beliefs and everything like that. And I found that there's been a lot of power within being able to do that. But I also, I try to keep things balanced, right? We have the yin and yang, so it's important to keep things balanced. And a lot of times you'll learn or understand, or the biggest thing, all right, what I learned the most is patience. Listening to other people that like I don't align with in a sense allows me to have patience, a little bit more patience, as well as understanding and control impulsive reactions, right? Control impulsive reactions is a big thing because, I used to struggle with impulse reactions instead of being able to respond properly and calmly and everything like that. And especially with, having kids, I have two crazy feral boys, which they need a lot more compassion and understanding in the way that their energy is and they're going through. But Earth Angel, I am going to check out Mel Robbin, the Let Them Theory. Thank you so much. All right. Let's see here. So yeah, crypto knowledge. Send me a message. Send me a message. We'll talk. Danielle's from Florida. What's up, Florida? Do you know Chris O'Brien? Come out better. He lives down there and is just like you. I don't think I know Chris O'Brien, but you know what? I gotta get my own pen and paper. Y'all are giving me some great info here that when I find the spare time, I will be able to dive into. So I want to write these names down before I forget them. All right, Chris O'Brien, and he's from San Diego too. That's cool. And then the Let Them Theory. I gotta write that one down too. I appreciate y'all. I really do. Because that's awesome. I love being able to see we're all supporting each other here. This is what's great. This is what's great. Yeah, I did also live in PB. Santee probably has good farm area. I mean, dude, honestly, in Santee, they've been developing this. Like, we just got a Trader Joe's. Like, they only put Trader Joe's in places with a certain financial demographic as well as a certain population. So they have been developing Santee like nobody's business. However, though, what I truly like about Santee, my part of town, is that my kids can go outside and they can ride their bikes. They can go to the park down the street and play baseball and do all these things. And I'm not really worried about anything really bad happening to them. It is such a like just an old school style place. Like that's how I grew up. I was able to ride my bikes around and go different places, you know, at 9, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever. Like it was just, you know, especially in the 90s, like parents were like, just as long as you come in when the lights come off or, you know, the lights turn on the street, you're good. I think that that's important. I really think that that's important for children to be able to have that sense of independence and to be able to figure things out on their own. You know, obviously controlled, there's boundaries to that independence, but the more we're able to allow our kids to go out and figure shit out, use their own brains, not be helicoptered around, have them start their process of trial and error. This is how they're going to learn life skills, real life skills, right? Real life skills. So, you know, that's what I love about Santee is that it's much more, just has that much more old school family kind of demographic about it. I know all my neighbors, we all like, you know, if you need an egg or you need some sugar, or you need anything like that, we just go knock on the door and be like, hey, do you have a spare egg? Do you have some sugar or whatever? You know what I mean? It's usually whenever my wife is trying to bake some stuff or something like that, if we're missing something. But it's just, you know, I didn't experience that when I lived in any of those other places. And so I've been out here for 10 years now, and I love it. I really do. However, though, you go into like Lakeside and Alpine, you go out east, there is good farmland. In fact, my grandparents, they own some property out in Campo. And I posted it on my stories. I think I did one live from my grandparents' house, but actually out there we are converting. They've got about 14 acres or so, and we are converting that all into growing opportunity. We're actually making these planters. They are from, I believe they're Finnish or something like that. They're from like northeastern Europe, but basically you lay down logs on dirt. You dig a big hole, you lay down logs on the ground, then you cover those logs up with branches, leaves, mulch, all that kind of stuff. And then you pile dirt on top and you do another layer. And so basically when we get our rain season, all of the rain, and we want to put these planters in a specific area so that rain drainage drains into them. So therefore the wood and all of the mulch and everything and the dirt is going to soak up and absorb all that water. And then you don't have to water during summertime. So you can conserve energy, you know, conserve water, as well as you're recycling the natural water. So we're doing that right now. We actually just planted dragon fruit. That's what my grandpa wanted to start off with. So we just planted some dragon fruit from some clones from actually a client of mine. Her dad they're Vietnamese, and his entire backyard is just covered in edible stuff. It's freaking amazing. So he gave me a bunch of trimmings from his dragon fruit plant or tree, and we put those in, and you can just clip it off, stick it into the ground, and they will grow. That's what succulents do. They're amazing and they're super easy. So yeah, that's you know, my personal goal and for my family is to be able to have as much, you know, fresh food and be more self-supported and self-supplied. They also have a well as well, so that's why I know the taste of the water and what, you know, minerals and electrolytes and everything that's coming out of the water, because you do have to test your well water to make sure that there's no contaminants or heavy metals or anything that's getting in there. So you know, that's kind of where all that comes from. But yeah, wow. You know, I don't come across people that are from San Diego very often. So Garad9, thank you for sharing that and stuff. Earth Angel, I do have a Spotify. My music is, so I play in bands. I play like rock and roll. I play punk rock music. And then I've played with a bunch of other artists in reggae genres, pop genres, all that kind of stuff. But my main two original projects are two bands. One is called Gunner Gunner, and then the other one is called Authentic Sellout. Gunner Gunner is like your straightforward rock and roll. It's kind of like Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, Guns N' Roses-y. I play lead guitar and do backup vocals in that one and write most of the music. And then in my punk band, that one is a little bit more, if you know about punk, we usually talk about, you know, controversial stuff or things that, you know, usually make people a little uneasy and stuff like that. But yeah, that one's called Authentic Sellout. And that one, we haven't put out any new music in a long time. Actually, the last album that we put out was the last election with Trump and Hillary Clinton. And we had some fun with that one. But yeah, you know, I mean, the punk music is all just, you know, fuck the government, all that kind of shit. So if you like punk stuff, check that one out. but yeah, I don't. And then I've got other stuff like on YouTube. But Gunner and Authentic Sellout, you can see on any streaming platform, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. We have got some music videos up on stuff like that. But Gunner, we're actually in the process of finishing up an album right now. So we'll be having new music being released here soon, and this is probably some of the best stuff that this band has come out with. So I'm really excited to get this stuff out, and yeah, and then we'll be, depending on when it gets done, we'll be setting up a tour and stuff. So if you are in America, we may be coming to a city near you when we get into that, but that probably won't be coming until about summer. So stay tuned. Gunner does have a TikTok as well as an Instagram. We're a little bit more active now on TikTok because I took it over and I'm like, hey, I'm going to post up a bunch of fun stuff on here. Whereas our lead singer runs our Instagram and he's a lot more like precarious on like having everything a specific vibe. He's also a tattoo artist. He's done some of my tattoos and stuff. But yeah, everyone in the band is pretty cool. So if you're into rock and roll, that kind of stuff, check that one out. If you like punk rock music, if you want to give the finger to the government and stuff like that, then check that stuff out. But yeah, that's where you can find most of my music and everything like that. Yes, listen to opinions without judgment, just process. Yes, balance is so crucial. Love it. God, you're awesome. Bringing in the truth. Ooh, Nami. Yes, copper. All right, that's been something that I've been really focusing more so on is starting to replace all of my cookware, my cups, everything like that. Copper is really good for the body. It also has a specific frequency as well. So yes, copper is good. If you can, it's expensive though, and that's been the hardest thing about being able to obtain, copper stuff for my entire family. I've found though at like antique stores, sometimes you can find copper sets for a decent price, and most of the time it's like real copper from like 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago. So it's much higher quality than what we're going to most likely get today, because a lot of the copper that you're going to get today is not 100% copper. So that's just the thing that you want to be aware of. So personally, I like to go to antique stores and look through all the stuff and try to find some copper treasures that I can add into my kitchen and whatnot. But yeah. Oh yeah. God, you asked, my dad still have a studio. So, no, he does not currently have a physical studio. And I was talking about the Vibe Flow. They're dealing with some things and stuff like that, between investors and all that kind of business stuff. However, though, he has an online thing, and he actually just teamed up with or partnered up with this. It's more of like a self-care place. It's called R3. And it's all about like recovery and stuff like that. So he's going to be diving more so into that, which is really interesting because my dad needs more recovery in his life. But no, you can check out Home Plate or the Golf Plate online, because my dad created a yoga studio where you did all of your stuff on a vibrational plate. He created these big vibrational plates that are big enough to put a yoga mat on and for you to get into a full plank in and everything like that. But it's the technology of the frequency device, which makes the plate vibrate and emits the hertz off of it. It was created by some engineers. I know people are like NASA, but it was created by some engineers that worked for NASA, as well as it was used and created to be able to help horses, racing horses, be able to not only recover but also train and build up their stability within these horses that race and that are worth a lot of money. So he was able to come across this. Him and one of his other business partners and whatnot were able to come across this and this technology, and like, hey, what if we like made a plate and like we did yoga on them? So they did that and they created them. And then he was like, well, what if we make one for the gym? And what if we make, my dad's really into golfing. So he's like, all this stuff would help golf, your back pain, all the different stuff that golfers deal with. And then just to have one at home. So you can check out Home Plate or the Golf Plate. That's where it's the ones that you can actually get into right now. Like I said, the ViFlow yoga whole concept is going through some stuff. But again, I've kind of had to separate myself from my dad. I love my dad, but through our journey and everything that we've been through, I've had to set up certain boundaries just to protect myself as well as my family and everything like that, with expectations and all those different things. But at the end of the day, I love my dad. I hope that he does really well. But some of the things that he gets into are pretty cool and stuff like that. But my dad also owned Orange Theory, where like I worked at and I got started at and everything like that. And then he sold, and I continue to work there just because I enjoy it. And I think it's a good workout. And the way that I coach classes is a lot different than a lot of other people coach classes. But I do feel that there's a lot of great information in having it's a heart rate monitor, high intensity interval training. So you're doing high intensity stuff for about 60 minutes, but you're wearing a heart rate monitor on it. So the way that I coach it is I help people tap in to visually see the stress that's going on in their body. Where I know that most other coaches don't talk about stress and don't talk about how to regulate the heart rate and how to control the heart rate and how to be able to have that control over heart rate during endurance, during power, during strength, on a treadmill, lifting weights, or on a rower. And so that's what I help from my style of coaching with Orange Theory, is I allow people to have that information and then connect breath work during our classes to be able to self-regulate as well as understand their own capacity for their energy and everything like that. But yeah, my dad had started off with Orange Theory. We owned a couple franchises over here in San Diego, but then my dad my dad's a very smart entrepreneur dude, but he just always runs into issues with other business partners and stuff like that. And then it's like, and that was kind of how like the first thing when I was younger kind of fucked up my whole life and like put me into, if you've been on my lives before, I suffered from substance abuse, being addiction, for about 10 years and all that. And I mean, it wasn't necessarily my parents' fault because I took the choice. However, the environment, helped me go in that direction of wanting to be a rebel and being, fuck you told me I can't do this, well, you guys all fucked up, so I'm gonna go do this now, right? So that was me. I'm still a little bit like that, but in good positive terms. But I have a dad, and I'm grateful that I have a dad, because I have people and I've met people that never had a dad, or their dad died, or whatever it may be. So it is my choice that I want to be able to try to make the most out of the relationship and the ability that I have a dad. But it's important for me to be able to manage my own emotions, manage my expectations, right? Manage my expectations with my dad, because that's what fucked me up forever, is my expectations of my dad. He was not going to be able to give to me what I truly wanted from him. And as much as that kind of sucked and whatnot, it just is what it is. And a lot of times, we can have these expectations over our parents. Like I had a talk with my mom. My mom had the same type of relationship with her dad. Her parents divorced when she was young, and she had all these expectations of her father. And she didn't let go of these expectations until just recently, when she lost her mother. And it's like, Mom, you've lived your entire life having a shitty, fucked up relationship with your dad because you expected him to send you to these schools and to give you this money and all these different things. I'm like, that's not his fucking job, Mom. Like, and like, so I'm not going to get into that whole deal. Maybe we'll put that on a podcast and dive into that thing. But again, expectations, they're the biggest things that are going to mess with you, man. And the more that you can focus in on letting go with expectations and just being grateful for what it is that you do have, and you have the choice whether or not you want that in your life or not, right? I made a choice to not have a relationship with my dad for quite a few years. When I was younger, when I was a teenager, and and that was my choice. Later on down the road, I ended up being able to start to, get that relationship built back up. But honestly, like I went to therapy. It wasn't necessarily for my parents' relationship. Back when I was addicted and everything like that, and in that lifestyle, I went through a very traumatic experience. I was I was a victim of a home invasion where I had guys in ski masks come in with guns, wake me up at 4 a.m. and tell me, "Give me all your shit. Where is everything at?" And I'm like, "What the fuck?" You know, like I was in my boxers in my bed, woken up 4 o'clock in the morning. It wasn't fun. It was not a fun experience, but you know, when you're in that lifestyle and doing those things, that's what happens. So, you know, the universe came through and whacked me upside the head with a 2x4 and said, "Hey, you know that there's only two options for this lifestyle. You're either going to die or you're going to jail for the rest of your life. So this is your one last chance to wake the fuck up and change." And so I did. But from that whole situation, all right, one of the guys ended up dying. Like it was fucked up. So I had PTSD from that whole deal. And then I, you know, dealing with cops and like, you know, in that situation, they don't give a fuck until they are done with their whole investigation. They treat you like you're, you know, the bad guy and whatnot. So that was not fun at all. And I had to go and, you know, my mom really was the one that drugged me to therapy after me having a bunch of episodes after. But I'm thankful that she did, because once I was able to allow my ego and my own insecurities and stuff, let that stuff go and realize that, yeah, I had issues that I needed to fix in order for me to be able to move forward and actually be happy with my life, then I needed to do this. And it took some time to find the right therapist too. So like, you know, anyone here, I'm a big supporter on therapy. It has helped me immensely. But it's important to find the right therapy out there, because there's lots of different stuff. So, you know, if you've been someone, or if someone's been telling you, hey, you should start seeing a therapist, or a therapist has really helped for this situation that you might be going through the similar thing, start doing some research. You know what I mean? Sometimes insurance can help for it. In my case with the PTSD, the city actually helped me and gave me money to be able to go through this therapy. Especially because these were like bad dudes that they wanted off the streets. They already had a bunch of warrants. They had already done through a bunch of home invasions. This was right when like all the dispensaries in California were starting to pop up, and they were hitting all these, like, they were bad. So because I don't know exactly how that relationship works, but I ended up getting money from the city, and I was like, okay. My mom's like, "You're using that for therapy. Don't you think you're going to go buy more tattoos with it?" So fine, I guess we'll go to therapy. Getting tattooed was my therapy, but it wasn't actually addressing the problem. So I went and I found an EMDR specialist. And through the EMDR specialist, I was able to work through that traumatic situation that happened to me. But then my therapist saw that there were obviously there's some lingering shit with my parents. And so I had the funds to be able to see her for about 2 years. And we were able to then dive into my parents and stuff like that. It took about 9 months just to get through that one incident. So like, this stuff just doesn't happen overnight. Like, it's consistent working through to be able to process what had happened and to come to peace with it. It does not happen overnight. You got a lot, and especially like we were only like, it was an hour, like once a week, sometimes twice a week. So it's like, you know, you gotta be patient with the process and everything like that. But yeah, I know I kind of just went on a tangent. I know you didn't ask about my relationship with my dad, but yeah, go check out Home Plate or Golf Plate. And yeah. Dude, Zachy, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, you are just lighting things up in here. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. So I'm just getting in here. Nami, how do you know the heart rate monitors are accurate? So I've worked with a lot of different heart rate monitors. I've been working with heart rate monitor technology for about 10 years now. And the first ones we had were Polar chest strap heart rate monitors. Those are going to be the most accurate. And now, you know, there are going to be variable discrepancies within some of them. The prior old, you know, code that we would use to be able to find someone's target heart rate was their age and weight, which is not really the most accurate. Now with all, and I worked with Whoop too. If you guys are familiar with Whoop, I worked with them for about 5 years, but then I had always had a thought, well, where does all this data go? Who has all this data? What are they doing with all of this data? So you're, you know, if you're wearing an Apple Watch or something like that, you know, but at the same time, it's like all the data on my phone, where the fuck is that going to? But I just thought it was like, I was like, all right, I don't want to be giving my data to people because, or like, to whoever this data storage and whoever else is buying my fucking data, and they ain't even telling me that they selling my fucking data, and they ain't even giving me a piece of my own fucking data. You ain't gonna pay me. You're gonna take all this data away from me, and you ain't gonna pay. Like, this is where things need to change. Like, I'm all for like supporting with scientific data and stuff like that, but compensate me and make sure that that data is going to serve somewhere that's going to serve a good purpose, not to be able to, support the pharmaceutical industry, which is most likely where it's going. So with that, all right, the old school way is not, it's more of an estimate. All right. But now, I mean, we have, I don't wear an Apple Watch. I wear an old school G-Shock. All right. But like the Apple Watch, it's got a heart rate monitor calibrator in there. And basically what they do now with the new technology of heart rate monitors is they typically take 5 to 10 like workouts or whatnot. And they take the highest average BPM or your max heart rate from those. And then they go based off of that. Now, see, the thing is that the heart rate it can be very inconsistent, right? Your heart rate all depends on stress. And so like if you're not sleeping well, your heart rate's going to be skewed. If you're not eating well, your heart rate's going to be skewed. If you drink alcohol, your heart rate's going to be skewed, specifically from one day to the next. Like if I woke up and ate primarily fruit and did my primarily thing, I'm going to work out really nice and my heart rate is going to be normal. However, if I go, buddy, hold on. But if I go and drink alcohol and I go out and I fuck off, and do all that kind of stuff, then the next day my heart rate is going to be different and it's going to struggle. So that's, there's a lot of different variables and stuff that come into, is that what you wanted? Heart rate, in that sense. But for the most part, the technology that we have now is pretty on point. What? Okay, here. The heart rate technology they have out now is pretty on point. And like I said, I've worked at Orange Theory now for about 10 years. I've tracked my heart rate, especially when I go into different targeted zones through that. So, I mean, for myself, I pretty much know where my own heart rate is and everything. And again, it's all experiment. I mean, these are like major, corporations, Whoop, Orange Theory, Apple, but again, it's all like you have to know what it is you're looking for within the data to start to really streamline an average, a consistent average for yourself or for individuals with that heart rate. And then obviously, these heart rate monitors are just a tool. It's really important to go first based off of how you feel and then use the tool to confirm how you feel, right? And really the biggest thing is that like I like to be able to focus in and teach people to do in real time is how to reduce stress, right? Because if we're wearing a heart rate monitor, in order to be able to like calculate stress, it's just how high up the BPMs go. And the higher the BPMs go, that's more stress that the body is dealing with. And, whether you're sprinting or, something that's going to elevate the heart rate really quickly, all right, or you're having an anxiety or a panic attack, the heart rate is going to do what's going on in the heart is going to be the exact same thing. It's going to skyrocket in BPMs. Okay, so whether you're sprinting or you're having a full-blown anxiety attack, the same thing is happening within the heart with both situations. However, one is typically forced and we have more control over it. However, the other one, we don't always feel like we have as much control when we're having a full-blown panic or anxiety attack, right? Me, myself, I've had quite a few of those in my lifetime, especially when I was dealing with PTSD. All right. But the number one thing in order to be able to control the heart rate and be able to bring it back down is your breath work. All right. Our heart is controlled by our breathing and our heart then controls our mind. So it goes breath, heart to mind. All right. And if we can focus in on a balanced about 4 seconds in, 4-second pause, 4 seconds out, then that's going to help our body be in balance. If we need to reduce stress, we need a quick inhale of about 2 seconds to a longer exhale. All right, because that longer exhale is what reduces the BPMs within the heart. If we want to increase the heart for whatever reason, then you just start hyperventilating, right? That's going to increase your heart rate. So the breathwork techniques are very, very, very important to regulating your system. And once you understand that and you practice it more and more, then that's where you're going to gain control over your heart rate. And at that point, like, it's, with all the data that I have, I don't wear a heart rate monitor anymore. I don't need it. I know exactly, where my capacities are and everything like that. But again, it takes time. I've been doing this for 10 years, over 10 years now. So within, that, length of time, with me being aware and focused on these things, that's how you gain the knowledge and the understanding and everything like that. And most importantly for you, but then, once you do it for X amount of time and, you have that experience, then you're able to help others with it as well. So I hope that answered your question about heart rate monitors. Now let's see here. Nice. You got a standing plate. Yeah. So, Gerard, with the vibration plates, like, standing is great for lymphatic system, blood flow, inflammation, and everything like that. But what's even cooler is how it can support and build strength within the joints when we're able to get movement. Because with the vibration plate, depending on how high the frequency is, it's actually going to activate every muscle within the body. All right. So we're actually starting to burn calories as our body starts to absorb, as well as balance out that frequency. So if we're able to get into like squats or, push-ups, anything that doesn't have your head on the plate, you don't never want to put your head on that vibrational plate. But your body, you can do different movements and stuff like that. And so that's why the home plate, or, my dad created one for the gym where you can like do barbell squats and deadlifts and all these different things, especially if we have imbalances with stability muscles. All right, that's the biggest thing, is your stabilization muscles, which most people do not, focus in on the stability muscles, but those are the most important muscles as we begin to age, right? Most of the people that are falling and breaking hips and knees and all these things is because they have close to zero stability strength, which is why they're struggling with those things, just being able to walk or walk off a curb or downstairs. So, the foundation to your movement lies within your joints and your stability muscles. And again, balance. How much balance you have is everything. And oftentimes people just want to rush stuff. And what I tell my classes and my clients and people that I work with, balance can never be rushed. There is no place for rushing with balance. Balance takes time. Balance takes patience. So if you're ever trying to find balance, be honest with yourself and say, hey, am I trying to rush this? Am I being too eager? Am I not having enough patience with this? And is that why this is not working out? 9 times out of 10, that's usually the reason. I found that to be true to me. A lot of times things aren't working out is because I'm not having enough patience with it. And I'm trying to rush through. So, yeah. So Nami, the antique stuff, yes, obviously, depending, everything can obtain energy, especially copper, because it's a energized metal, right? It's a conducting metal. So yes, it can absorb and hold on to certain energies, and if you had someone like Mr. Crowley that had all that copper stuff, you don't want his energy. If you've ever driven into Mr. Crowley, but so that's where the crystals and stuff like sage and Palo Santo and all these different cleansing tools help with that. One of the best cleansing tools is going to be your selenite. Selenite really helps cleanse, but you have to, again, it's a tool. You have to put the intention. You want to use your right hand because this is your power hand. And you want to put the intention. I want to cleanse this, purify this, blah, 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 do all that kind of stuff. And then, whatever else, vibes with you and, your beliefs or your backgrounds as far as, culture and stuff like that. Not everyone uses Palo Santo. Not everyone uses sage. And in fact, some ancients only believe certain people can. All right. I'm not in the fan that God only loves certain people or certain people are allowed to only do certain things. Fuck all that. All right. We are all created equally. We can all have the opportunity to do the same things, right? The only person that's going to limit you is yourself with your own beliefs. So, all right. God created us all in his image. So therefore, we're here to create and do whatever we want within this life. Hopefully you're doing good stuff and creating good stuff to support and not, diminish and ruin this reality. But yeah, let's see here. diving into your questions again. I appreciate you all having so much fun on this live today. You all are amazing. All right. If you popped in a question and I hadn't got to it and it was a little bit ago, go ahead and repost it. I am getting to it. And again, Gerard, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay, awesome. You're doing some exercises on the standing plate. That's awesome. Summer. So my one-on-one sessions, it's basically we hop on a Zoom and we start diving into what you got going on personally in your life. And usually they're for about an hour or so, and we dive into whatever it may be. I focus in on movement, nourishment, and mindfulness, and pretty much all the different things that we talk about here. They've written a lot of stuff in books for life. However, you can read all the books, but until you've actually experienced life, you really don't know what to do, right? It's like, you can go read a book on how to do open heart surgery. Until you actually there doing open heart surgery, you don't know what you're fucking doing, because you have so many other external factors going on other than just what the instructions were in reading the book, right? So with this type of coaching, yes, I focus on movement. I focus on the nourishment, food and everything like that. But the mental health sides of things, right? It's really hard for someone to be able to understand and, resonate with someone else unless they've been through it, right? So, like I said, I shared my story. I've been through a lot of fucking shit. And I've been able to come out positively with it. It was not easy. There was a lot that I've had to go through, but over the 10 years, I've been able to figure out a lot of things and learn and grow, but most importantly, implement. Everything that I talk about, everything that I do is all something that I've experienced and worked through multiple times. And a lot of the different things, they have similar correlations to other things. Just like, I talked about the relationships, whether that's with a partner, with parents, family, friends, if that's a place, your job, your home, or a thing like your phone or food or substances that aren't the best, right? All those things, they all kind of correlate the same. And then obviously with your food and stuff. So basically with my one-on-one sessions, you book a Zoom, and we have an hour weekly coaching call, and you find a time and everything that works for you. And then depending on, what everything it is that you need, as far as if you do, need movement protocols, if you've got some things going on with the body, if you want to lose weight, or if you want to gain more muscle, or you're sick of feeling aches and pains and stuff in the joints, and you've never had injuries, you want to be able to, live pain free and stuff like that. Or, you want to be able to have more energy or clear skin, so every body is different. And so the one-on-one, I'm able to, take the time to really dive into you specifically, and set up a plan to be able to start changing the things that you want to change in your life. So I hope that makes sense. If you have more questions, send me a DM. And I also do a first time free coaching consultation. So we can set up a free Zoom for the first time, go through it, and just really make sure that that we'd be a good fit for each other, right? I think that's important to be able to see progress, is to make sure that, we're a good fit for each other. But Summer May, you've already been awesome on here, so I'm pretty sure that we'd get a lot accomplished and whatnot. But yeah. Yeah, Gerard, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, we're all gods. So claim your power. Claim your power. Yeah, every single religion and stuff like that talks about we were created in God's image. And then what do we do? What do we literally do? We create shit. I created 2 human beings. Pretty sure that's, I don't know. I only created 2 human beings. But then I've created so many other things. I create music. I've created, art. I've created, makeshift little forts and stuff with my kids. We create this phone, this software of TikTok, we create everything. And the only other beings of this planet that create stuff, like we're it. We're it. And, so that's where it's like, and when you stop, when you accept that, that's you really claiming your power, right? Because otherwise we have what they call a savior complex, where we think someone else is going to come and save you. We think that, oh, this place is so bad, I want to go to a better place. Well, this place is so bad is because that's what you've created. You've created whatever it is you don't like within your life, so change it. You have the power to recreate whatever reality that you truly want to create. It's just up to you and really claiming that power to do so, right? I've talked about religions. I've talked about my past with, my religion and my upbringing and everything like that. And look, I've got there's no shame. There's no judgment at all here, at all. So whatever your beliefs are, that's completely up to you. Your beliefs don't affect me. So that's why I don't understand why people get so upset when someone else thinks differently than them. Is that really affecting you? Let it be. Let them live their life. Let them experience their own way, because the only thing that's going to affect them is them. It ain't going to affect you unless you let them affect you, right? But, even with the politics, and everything that's happening in the world, so many people are saying, oh, Revelations is happening. We're in the end times and all this. Well, do you really think life is so bad that you want to go to this place called heaven? Why haven't you been able to create your own heaven here? What is so bad in your life that you want to leave this place and go to somewhere that I would actually call fucking boring? Because when there is no, positive and negatives going on, when you just want this place, they talk about heaven as this place made out of gold with gold streets, and there's no suffering and everyone's happy and stuff. If you really go back into history, there was supposedly a time called the Golden Age where there was all that stuff. But you know what? Nothing got done. It was boring as fuck. I tell my kids all the time, they like to play video games, all right? And we play some video games here. If you started a video game and there was multiple levels on the video game, but for some reason this video game only had one level, it was the same thing every single time you went on there, how long would you play that same video game? You'd get over it. You'd get bored. You would not want to play that video game anymore because it is not exciting you. It is not challenging you. What? I can't understand you with this in your mouth, buddy. What?
We play together Fortnite.
You and brother. Or I can play with you in a little bit, but we're going to be going to the park soon. All right. So again, we need the challenges. We need all of the crazy shit going on to make this exciting and whatnot. It is a movie. It is a movie. Yes, and I said this earlier. My heart goes out to anyone that is on the negative end of it, that is suffering. All right. And this is my goal, is I want to be able to create this world to be a better place. But in a better place doesn't mean that there's still not challenges. All right. If you've followed me and you watch some of my posts and stuff, I go climb mountains, or I go surf really big surf, or I do things that a lot of people are scared to do because I'm choosing for those to be my challenges. I'm not scared or worried about bad things happening to me. I create and am in charge of the challenges that I truly want to go through. You know what I mean? For the most part. And it took me a long time to get here. All right. When I was in my addiction years, I blamed everyone else for the challenges that I was putting on myself. Right. I was blaming my parents. My parents is the reason why I'm an addict and all this stuff. My parents are the reason why I'm struggling. That my parents are the reason why I have no money. My parents are the reason why, I don't have a good job and I didn't get to go to college and blah, blah, blah. I blamed everyone for everything, and mainly my parents, for all of the challenges that I was going through life. And it wasn't until I was able to truly mature and go through all the processes of things to realize oh, wait, these challenges are making me me. These are giving me the strength to be able to do the things that I know that I'm going to want to do in the future, like be a dad, be a coach, be a leader, be all these different things, be able to help the world, right, in the ways that it needs help with, or the people that want the help. You know what I mean? And so it took me time to be able to realize that, I create the challenges, right, in my life. Because let's be honest, if you woke up today, What challenges are really in your day? Not talking about what's going over, on in, the Middle East, not talking about what's going on down south, not talking about, whatever it is you may be seeing through a screen. What challenges are you seeing through your eyeballs? Not through a screen, through your own eyeballs, in your own current reality. What are the challenges that you're seeing? Because a lot of times, most of those challenges we've created on our own. And part of this life and this game is about being able to build the strength, build the resilience to be able to work through those challenges, because usually the universe has got a whole awesome thing for you waiting once you get through those challenges. And so, yes. So yeah, you guys, you get it. Oh, right on. Okay. Okie pokey. So we're going to dive through some of these comments and questions here. Wonder filled. I like that. Gerard. Summer May. What are your thoughts on supplements? So yeah, I gave up supplements when COVID came through. That was like a big opener for me. There are very few supplements, and I wouldn't even necessarily call them supplements to have. But here's the thing: is that I talked about what people want to sell you as vitamin D, where there is no such thing as vitamin D. It's a D hormone, and the only way that our body can chemically create this D hormone is from the sun. We need to be able to be in the sun and be able to allow, you don't want to look at the sun, all right? But you want to be outside where the sunlight is able to get into your eyes, which means do not wear sunglasses. If you wear regular glasses or contacts, take them off and give yourself, 5 to 10 to 20, as long as you can in the morning time, to be able to actually start to regulate your D hormone and everything that does for your body. It does a lot. All right. They call it B vitamins. No, there is nothing outside that grows that's a B vitamin plant. There's nothing outside that grows that is a D vitamin plant. All right. With supplements, and here's the thing, is it's a business. They're trying to sell you something because they've been able to get you away from real food that has all of the foundational ingredients for your body to be able to operate and function properly. Because see, here's the thing, all right? Your B vitamins are created in your gut. So, and yes, they do that's what gives us energy. But if we're not putting the proper things into our body to be able to have a good positive gut microbiome, then yeah, you're not going to have the energy. You're not going to have those B vitamins if you go get a blood test and stuff, and it's going to say that you're all out of whack. But what do those tests do for you? Well, here's your test. You need these things, so give me your money and take these things. But really, that's not what it is you need. You need to change your diet, and you need to focus more so on the proper foods that are going to have the things that you may feel that your body needs. And often the biggest ones are, the vitamin D, the Bs, stuff like that. Whereas, like I said, sunshine is going to take care of your vitamin D, the D hormone, as well as eating, all right, stuff that has the sun's energy in it, like this lemon and stuff. You put the lemon in your water, you eat an orange, or your leafy greens, right? The leafy greens are the sun panels. Leaves are the sun panels to absorb the energy. So if we're consuming these things, that's how we're going to be able to balance out the D's within the body. The B, all right, again, you have to have a healthy gut microbiome in order for your gut to create B vitamins. All right, they cannot create this in a lab. And that's the thing. And it's, so my point of view is it's a scam. So don't waste your hard-earned money on supplements instead, because supplements are extremely expensive too. Go and buy natural organic fruits and vegetables. Those are the only supplements that you need. You can take stuff like chlorophyll or spirulina, depending. Everyone's a little bit different as far as which one would actually support you the best. But other than that, and like raw honey, every once in a while, a supplement for me is like this. All right, oil of oregano. This is a supplement for me. something like this, I was taking this. I got a guy that makes he's a mushroom farmer, special helper. So you can see it's got cordyceps. It's got a whole bunch of different stuff in there. So, and I really only take these things when I feel that I need them. So if I feel that my body has been overstressed and my central nervous system and everything, my systems need support, then I'll take some of this. Hey, no, I'm going to turn it off, okay? Because we're trying to finish and we're almost done. But I can't be changing that up for you all the time. You got to be able to figure it out, learn, grow, okay? No, you're not playing that, dude.
No, yeah,
So, all right, the oil of oregano, if anyone is... Okay, I don't know how to play it. There, you're out of it, dude. Sometimes you just have to have a little patience. But, 3-year-olds don't always have so much patience. All right, if anyone's dealing with the Nora deal, not feeling good, oil of oregano is one of the best things for any bacteria virus, along with garlic, raw garlic. All right. So these are the supplements and more so medicine. It's more so medicine that I focus in on. Like I said, I stopped taking all supplements. I don't take any protein powders. I don't take any creatine. I don't take anything that is made in a lab that is not coming directly from the earth. And from that, I was like fitness was my first thing. And so I was, I studied from NASM as far as, physical, personal training, as well as nutrition. But NASM is controlled by the powers that run all the programming here. So it's like they teach you some things, but the big things, the overall idealistic, views of things are completely false and misstrued. And so that's why unless you get into Ayurvedic medicine or Ayurvedic nutrition and stuff, and you start to dive into the Eastern, ways of living, that's when you're going to really get a lot of the great information. But there's not very many places that really teach that or that give you access, nor do the bigger power, the bigger corporations and different stuff, nor do they even accept those views or anything like that. So it's that's what makes, really, really being in this health field a challenge. But yeah. Yes, I appreciate you. It is. We've been on here for 2 hours now. So ashwagandha is good, but you got to be careful with ashwagandha. It does help regulate cortisol. But if you're having issues with cortisol, it's not necessarily an ashwagandha that's to help relax. So if you're struggling with sleep and different things like that, that's where you want to get into the ashwagandha. But again, it's very important that you're taking it based off of the right, with the right intentions, and then making sure you're not becoming dependent on it, right? The dependency is the big one. What's up, bud?
I can't eliminate it.
I know, but we're going to get ready to go to the park, okay? So we're going to get turning that off. All right. Well, hey, I appreciate each and every one of you. Summer, I will post this up on my YouTube. So if you want to start getting into my longer form content, we made a decision today. We are going to start putting these on YouTube. I will start with one video a week on YouTube so we can get some more of this longer form content for you. But every Tuesday and Thursday, I am here for the most part at 9 a.m. So I had so much fun with all of y'all and just super grateful to be in this live with like-minded individuals that just want positivity, not only for themselves, but for this world. And that's what it's all about. That's what we're trying to build here, is that like-minded community to be able to reshape and recreate our world, all right, for the next generations to come. But other than that, love each and every one of you, sending you tons of love and power. All right. Stay healthy. We'll see y'all later. Bye.